Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are going to discuss about 7.1.2.4 packet tracer activity, propagating a default route in EIGRP for IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, so this is the activity today we are going to discuss, and this request come from one of our student, and she was facing a little bit difficulty in it. Okay, I hope inshallah we try to finish by today, and I will upload in the e-learning. Okay, I will upload in the YouTube, and I also share the link in the e-learning. So before going to perform the activity steps, so I want to just share with you some of the things. If you will see here, I have you can see here the lab manual is uploaded here, your CDP is here in the e-learning, and you will also find the detail about. Okay, see here I have uploaded all the lectures, all the recorded lectures here in the e-learning. Okay, you can go and click out on the link sometime and copy paste the link, and you will access the video. Okay, you can see today I have uploaded lab number 19. This is the last lab which I have uploaded today. And even though apart from this I have activated all the chapter exam, most of the students they have done up till chapter 8, and some students they have done chapter 9. Okay, so please try to complete all chapters. So activated, even today I have activated chapter number 10 as well. Okay, so next week inshallah I will activate final exam. Okay, and after that final exam I will activate the SBA exam. Okay, so now we can go to the activity here. So now we can discuss the activity here. Okay, in this activity what we need to do, we will configure and propagate a default route in EIGRP for IPv4 and IPv6. So here IPv4s are configured, you can see here, and this side let me make a little bit big. Okay, if you will see here, this side it is pre-configured. This side IPv4's addresses are pre-configured, and this area IPv6 are pre-configured. Oh, you can see here it's pre-configured topology. What we need to do it, we just need to configure IPv4 and IPv6 default route. Okay, so how this default route should propagate from this router to this one, and this router to the branch 2 router. So the same in IPv6, how we can propagate IPv6 default route to the downstream routers. Okay, now so first of all we should know what is a default route. So what is a default route, we should know. So it is a gateway of the last resort. You get me? Did you get me, please? So what is the default gate? What is a default route? Default route is the gateway of the last resort. Okay, now in the other terms I just want to explain you, it is used in forwarding a packet whose destination address does not match any route in the routing table. Okay, if PC1 will send a packet to somewhere out of this network, it will not find the destination address in the routing table of this router. So then what it will do, if the default route is not configured, it will drop the packet simply. Yes or no? Yes. So we basically configure on the edge router. We always configure the default route on the edge router. If the destination address does not match in the routing table, so it should propagate to the ISP, to the internet. So it should send or forward the packet to the ISP. So now it is the responsibility of the ISP to resolve this matter. Okay, so basically we are configuring default route on the edge router. Okay, so for IPv4 and IPv6 as well. Okay, and this default route should be propagated to the other routers on the downstream routers. Okay, so now let's start the practical. So what are the steps here? Let me make the video. Okay, first let me make some little bit the font should be a little bit more clear. Let me clear the CLI font, I think 12. Okay, this time I will make it 12. Okay, so that is more suitable. Okay, just wait. This time I think we have a lot of things. Okay, now we can configure here the edge router. Okay, in the edge router, what we need to do, the first step we need to do, let me open the step and I will show you what. 12, lab number 12, this is the lab. Propagate a default route IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, this activity open and try to complete this activity. Okay, so today we are going for this activity, lab number 12. Okay, so display the routing table of each IPv4 enable router and verify that all IP4 routers are available. Okay, so first you need to see show IP route, show IP route. Okay, show IP route. So if you type this one, press enter, you will see. So the default the gateway of the last resort is not set, and you can see the EIGRP it learned through the this EIGRP is configured and it is in the routing table. Okay, so we display the routing table and the routing is enabled and it learned the routing from the neighbors. Okay, it shared the routing table and the routing table is display here. Okay, but the gateway of the last resort is not configured. The same way you can go to the branch router and you can see, so the gateway of the last resort is not configured. So what we need to do, configure a directly connected IPv4 default route on IPv4 edge router. So this is my IPv4 edge router, so I need to configure the default route. Okay, this is my first step. So what I will do it, I will type simply this command. Okay, IP router. Okay, IP router, let me make it a little bit. Okay, so IP router, IP route, sorry, IP route. So we are using EIGRP. Okay, so autonomous system. Okay, before going for this one, show IP protocol. Okay, so it will show you which protocol you are using. You are using EIGRP 1, autonomous system number 1. Okay, so now I need to type the same command, IP configure terminal, IP route. Okay, so IP route. So what is the default? Sorry, what is the IP route? Sorry, oops, a little bit. IP route. Okay, so default route, how you can configure 0.0.0.0. So any IP, any subnet mask 0.0.0.0. So then we need to mention the serial interface. What is the serial interface? This interface, this serial interface. Okay, what is the IP address of this serial interface? You need to not the IP address, the interface IP. Okay, so interface IP serial 0/1/0. Okay, so this is the interface. You can see here this interface, we need to give the IP address of this interface. Okay, so this is the point-to-point interface. Ignore this message and then you can go ahead with the default route you have configured. Now you need to see it has been configured or not. If it is configured, it will show you the IP default route. Last resort is configured. Then you need to also propagate the default route. Okay, the next step is we need to propagate the default route. Okay, so you configure step, this configure, you have configured IP4 default route. Now you need to propagate the default route. Propagate the default route in EIGRP. Propagate in the sense mean it will also show here. Okay, so it should also propagate this default route here. If you will see, show IP route. Okay, if you type this command, you will not find this gateway of the last resort. Okay, you will not find it here because we did not propagate. It is configured now. I will just show you, do show IP route. You can see here the gateway of the last resort is now configured. You can see this is the default route and it is connected through this serial, so the serial interface. Okay, if any packet that destination address does not belong to our it does not contain the destination address in the routing table, so it will forward this packet through this serial interface. Okay, so we tell to our edge router. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to configure the propagation of default route in EIGRP. Okay, so what we will do, we know we have configured router EIGRP. Okay, autonomous system number 1, as I showed you before, this is autonomous system number 1. Then write redistribute static. Okay, redistribute static. So once you will write, it will redistribute this static default route to the downstream connected router. Okay, so this is the one. Just type this command and you can go and find this entry in the branch 1, branch 2 router. Okay, so it will propagate this default route. You can see it is not set now for the time being. Now we run the command and we will now again we can see, is it, you can see now default gateway of the last resort is set and this is our default route. This is our external default route. You can go and find this entry as well here in this branch router 2 as well. See, show IP route. Okay, so see the gateway of the last resort is configured now. So it means we configure the default route here and then we need to propagate this default route along with the EIGRP routing protocol to the downstream routers. Okay, you get me? Did you get me? Good. So this is for IPv4. So we configure for IPv4 this side, it is pre-configured for IPv4 and this side is for IPv6. Okay, now for the IPv6, what we need to do, we will go for the propagation of the default route for IPv6. Okay, now what we need to do, we will go to the IPv6 edge router, see IPv6 edge router, and we can run the command and see show IPv6, see enable show IPv6 route. See here, so IPv6 routes are pre-configured, but the default route is not configured. The default route is not configured. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to configure the default route. Okay, how we can configure the default route here? Okay, just go to the configure terminal. Okay, after that write IPv6. So IPv6, then the next command is same, IPv6 route. Okay, IPv6 route. Okay, so then write :/0. Okay, and after that you need to type the serial interface. So what is the serial interface for this one? This is the serial interface. Okay, this is the serial interface. You need to check what is the serial interface. This is the serial interface and you need to mention serial 0/1/0. Okay, so this is the serial interface. Okay, because it is connected with the ISP, the internet. Okay, so we need to give this serial interface. So once we done this one, after that there is another step, the last step. What we need to do, we need to propagate this default route, okay, to the downstream router. Okay, so what we need to do in IPv6, go to the branch. Okay, before going to the downstream branch 3 and 4 router, what we need to do, we need to just check do show IPv6 route. Okay, so we will see now this one. You can see here the default static route is configured. You can see here. Now what we need to do, we need to configure, we need to see whether it is redistributed to the branch router 3 and 4. Definitely it is not, because we did not configure the redistribute static. If you want to verify, you can verify by yourself. Enable show IPv6 root. Okay, you can see it is not configured. It is not configured in the downstream routers. Okay, so it is not configured, means it is not shared in the with the branch of branch 3 router and branch 4 router. So how it can be shared? So we need to share along with the EIGRP routing protocol. So what we need to do, we need to type this command IPv6 router. Okay, so this is the command IPv6 router. So which protocol we are using? Can you tell me, please? Can you tell me? Yes, EIGRP. Good. So what is autonomous system number 1? Autonomous system number 1 we are using. Okay, now we need to tell the router, we need to redistribute this static route to the downstream router. Just type this command and you will find, so it will share this IPv6 edge router. This will share this default static route along with the IPv6 routing protocol to the downstream router. If you want to see now, you can see here external route. You can see now. So this default route is propagated to the downstream branch 3 router and branch 4 router. Okay, now the last step is, what is the last step? The last step is we propagate the default route to the downstream router, and then we need to verify the default route it has been propagated as we have seen. Now we need to check PC1, PC2 should be able to ping in outside host, and PC3 to PC4 should now be able to ping IPv6 outside host. So this is IPv4 this side. Okay, so this PC1 should ping to IPv4 outside. Okay, let me check so whether it is going to ping or not. So we will go to the desktop. Okay, let me take this IP. Okay, and let me go to the routers now. Sorry, go to the PC1, go to the terminal and write ping and paste. Let's see the connectivity is there or not. So still it is, now it is going to ping to the outside host or not. You can see the ping is successful. It's the same way PC2. You can go to the PC2, go to the desktop, go to the command prompt, write ping and type the IP address of your outside IPv4 host and press enter. You can see the ping is successful. What you need to do, you need to also do for the same ping for IPv6 network. Okay, so we will see where is the IPv6. Okay, this is our IPv6. Okay, now let me copy this one and ping from here to IPv6 outside host. Let me write ping. Okay, paste the IPv6 address. You can see the ping is successful. So this is all about for today. Okay, if you find any problem in any activity, please do let me know, so I will make the video and upload in e-learning. So now I'm going to end this one. Thank you for watching the video.